This video covers Chapter 10 of my book, How to Sue the Government. This chapter is about filing and serving your complaint. The pro se guide from your clerk of the court will tell you where to file your complaint and what documents must accompany your complaint. There is likely a civil cover sheet to fill out and a filing fee of a few $100s. If you have a question, call the clerk of the court. If you're broke, like me, you can fill out an informa pauperis request. If you provide evidence that you are low income, the court will waive the fees. You may also get extra services, such as the clerk of the court serving your documents to the defendant. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Now I'm going to talk about serving your lawsuit to the defendant. After you receive a letter back from the clerk of the court acknowledging receipt of your documents, then you serve the documents on the defendants. Don't be in a hurry to serve your lawsuit. Wait to see if the clerk of the court or the judge finds a mistake. In some situations, federal law or local court laws require that a judge do an initial review of pro se complaints. The defendant isn't going to respond to your lawsuit for 60 days, so they can wait a week or two to get your documents. Here in Colorado, the clerk of the court mails pro se clients a letter with an email printed out. The letter has a 200-digit cipher as proof that they received your documents. Presumably, attorneys using the ECF get emailed this. In other words, pro se plaintiffs are treated sort of like the Flintstones. If you get a letter from the clerk of the court with a 200-digit cipher and a few baffling words, everything is good. When you receive this acknowledgement from the clerk of the court, then you serve your documents to the defendants. There are 3 defendants under federal question jurisdiction: the federal agency, the U.S. attorney for your district, who will be the counsel for the defense, and the U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. Print 3 sets of documents, go to the post office, chat with the old people in line buying stamps, and then send your documents via certified mail. Excuse me. Ignore instructions telling you to use registered mail. Certified mail is for documents, registered mail is for valuables and costs more. You might see something about waiver of service in the court's PDF guide. Ignore that. It's only for diversity jurisdiction. Now, if you filed an informa pauperis request, the clerk of the court might tell you that they will serve your papers for you, which sounds great. But go to the post office and mail out the 3 sets of documents anyway. In my case, the clerk of the court emailed my documents to the U.S. District Court. Email is allowed only if the plaintiff is a prisoner. The counsel for the defense asked the judge to dismiss my case for improper service. Getting an extra copy of the lawsuit won't hurt the defendants. Now I'm going to talk about the response from the defendant or their motion to dismiss. 60 days after the defendants were served, the counsel for the defense will file either a response or a motion to dismiss. A response is the defendant's side of the story. A motion to dismiss is a list of procedural mistakes you made in your complaint. The good part of a motion to dismiss is that the counsel for the defense will tell you exactly what mistakes you made. You can research these and figure out how to fix your mistakes. You then have 21 days to send in a response to motion to dismiss. When you write your response, find your judge's practice standard. This will give you a word limit, margin, spacing, fonts, etc. And then after your signature, you write something like this with the word count. I hereby certified that the foregoing pleading complies with the type volume limitations, 1,350 out of 2,700 words, set forth in Judge Dredd's Practice Standard 3, Paragraph A, Section 1. Now I'm going to talk about the amended complaint. The great part of a motion to dismiss is that you get to write an amended complaint. You get to fix your mistakes, starting over at no cost without asking a judge's permission. You get a free do-over. But a few caveats about an amended complaint. Use Microsoft Word's tools, track changes, compare documents to create a red line that shows the changes you made between the original and amended complaints. This is easy. Submit both the amended complaint and the red line. You'll need to file a plaintiff's motion for leave to file amended complaint. Near the top of the first page, you'll put half a page of boilerplate that you can read in my book. I'm not going to waste your time reading it to you here. You're also required to confer with the counsel for the defense. This means talk to the defense counsel. Email them and ask them for a telephone call or email as they prefer. After you have conferred, put a certificate of conferral below the plaintiff's motion for leave to file amended complaint. And the certificate of conferral just says the plaintiff has conferred with the counsel for the defense, which does not oppose this motion. I said this before, I'll repeat it. Be nice to the counsel for the defense. No matter what the federal agency did to you or how much you hate them, the counsel for the defense doesn't work for the federal agency. The defense counsel works for the United States Attorney's Office for your district. They live in your state. Their job is to catch the mistakes you made writing your complaint. The counsel for the defense isn't going to trick you or anything. They'll point out your mistakes and you'll fix them. I recommend the book Represent Yourself in Court: How to Prepare and Try a Winning Case by Paul Bergman and Sarah J. Berman, published by Neola Press in 2022. And again, I recommend your Clerk of the Court Civil Lawsuit Guide. And I have one more thing to say. Numerous people have told me that there's no chance of a pro se plaintiff winning a lawsuit against a federal agency. I don't know if that's true, but I'm certain that a plaintiff who doesn't file a lawsuit isn't going to win. And that's the end of Chapter 10 of my book, How to Sue the Government. Please look below the video for a link to buy my book on Amazon. And please click the subscribe button below the video so that I get a share of the revenue from the ads you've seen. I also have a Facebook page, How to Sue the Government. I'm on X following the hashtag How to Sue the Government, and my website is howtosuethegovernment.com.